All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well, and also peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world. It's pushing out this truth with all diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. This is the brother Karatazar here out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. Here with the lesson going into, this world isn't for us. All right. You can easily be consumed, in the world, the ways of living, how people become, social media famous, chasing the bag, and so on and so forth. But we have to understand that this world isn't for us. If our lot, is to be a servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, then it's hatred, with the world. The world doesn't like us. All right. And the scriptures speak on, in the book of Jeremiah, it says, why trimmest thyself to find love, to seek love? So, we don't do that. Through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we have the brotherhood. We have the Akim. We have, Yahushai. So we don't need love from the outsiders, man. All right. The scripture says in the book of Proverbs that open rebuke is better than secret love. All right, and that's, the true love that you get from brothers about being around, brothers and being amongst, like-minded men, is that you get true love, not the love that, the world shows where, like the saying goes, I'm with you whether you're right or wrong. Nah, man, with Akim, so if you're doing certain things that's against the scriptures, that's against the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and we speak out against that, man. Okay? And many guys have been, kicked out, not, wanting to be a part of the truth for certain things, man. All right? But going back to the point of, I'm going to read 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 1. He said, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Let me get this. Matthew chapter 20 and verse 16. It said, so the last shall be first, and the first last, for many be called, but few are chosen. You see? So we're last, here in the world. In Esau's world, we're last. We're, at the bottom, but you have to realize spiritually, we at the top of the list, man. Lord willing, we continue in our fight. It says, for many are called, but few are chosen. So this world, isn't for the few, which is the elect. The 144,000. The 1/3 in the peaceable multitude, man. This this world isn't for them, man. Why? Because it's adverse against the scriptures. It's totally against it. You can commit adultery. Men sleeping with men, women sleeping with women is held to a high standard. You got mass murderers and, you name it, man. Okay? The food here that's a whole nother, topic within itself. All right? But going back to the point, 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, it says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. And that's the kingdom. When you read, let me go to that. Book of John, chapter 14, and verse 2 says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. You see? So the Lord has set up many mansions for the few, man. And that's our world. That's the kingdom, man. And that's what we seek, and the things that we hope for is the kingdom. The things that we're doing, on this side of the world, is to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the kingdom. All right, this world isn't with us, man. The scriptures say, hey, if the world hated me, know this gonna hate you. And that's what comes with this territory, man. All right, so you're gonna lose relationships with former friends, family members, girls. You may lose a rib here and there, but it's all to gain Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that's what's important. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. Look at everything, that when you read the scriptures, look at everything that, the apostles sacrificed to push Yahushua's ministry, man. Even to the point of them losing their lives. All right. This is what we dealing with here, man. We got this scripture. James chapter 4 and verse 4. It says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? And that word enmity means hatred. So we're not friends of this world, man. Because this world hates the Most High. It says, whosoever therefore would be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. You see? And that's why we don't get along with, our people. We don't, really mesh well with them. Well, 2/3 of our people, we don't mesh well with them. Whenever these camps try to, mix the world with the truth, it doesn't end well. And we just see the carnality bleeding out of them, man. Because it's the enemy of the Most High. All right. So we're seeking for the world that was made for the few, man. All right. The cosmos, man. All right. Not for the many. All right. So I just wanted to briefly touch on that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close up by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until the next time, Shalom.